One shot or you're out. Then watch closely.
The crisp autumn air hung over the firing ranges at Camp Pendleton, that sprawling Marine base along the California coast where the Pacific breeze mixed with the sharp tang of gunpowder. Colonel Robert Harlan stood at the observation post, his weathered hands clasped behind his back, watching the dawn drills unfold. At 58, with silver threading his crew cut and a chest full of ribbons from tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, Harlan had seen it all. Raw recruits fumbling with M4s, elite operators drilling precision shots. He prided himself on the discipline here, the kind that turned boys into warriors. But that morning, something out of place caught his eye. A young woman in civilian clothes approaching the gate, duffel bag over her shoulder, no uniform in sight. She looked mid-20s, athletic build, jeans and a hoodie that screamed weekend hiker rather than soldier. The gate sentry, Sergeant Ramirez, stopped her, pointing at the authorized personnel only sign. Harlan sighed, sensing a headache brewing. Civilians sometimes wandered in, thinking this was some public shooting club. But as he strode over, her calm demeanor struck him. No fidgeting, no excuses. "Ma'am, this is a restricted area," Ramirez said. She nodded politely. "I know. I'd like to use the range for a few shots." Harlan chuckled inwardly. "Use the range? Like it was a golf course." "You military?" he asked, his voice gruff from years of barking orders. "No, sir," she replied evenly. "Rebecca Thompson," she introduced herself later. Harlan crossed his arms. "Then you're in the wrong place. This isn't for hobbyists." But something in her steady gaze made him pause. Was she bluffing, or did she have real grit? Against his better judgment, he decided to humor her if only to send her packing quickly. "Fine. Let's see what you've got. But one miss, and you're out." The murmurs started as they walked her to an open lane. Marines paused their zeroing, eyeing the outsider. Harlan handed her the M107, that massive .50 caliber sniper rifle that could punch through engine blocks at a mile out. It weighed over 30 pounds, kicked like a mule, and wasn't for amateurs. He loaded a single round, tweaked the scope just off, and pointed to a steel plate at 700 yards. "Hit that, or don't waste my time." Rebecca didn't flinch. She donned her gloves, recited safety protocols verbatim like she'd drilled them 100 times and settled prone. The wind whispered from the west, about 3 miles per hour. She adjusted the turret with practiced ease, exhaled, and fired. The boom echoed across the base, and 700 yards away, the plate clanged dead center. Harlan's smirk faded. Luck? Maybe. He upped it to 1,000 yards. Another perfect hit. The crowd grew, whispers turning to bets. Who was she? Some Olympian? A contractor? As the sun climbed, Harlan pushed further. Moving targets at staggered distances, 500 yards left to right, then 900 the opposite way. Rebecca scribbled notes in a small pad, then nailed each one. The Marine's amusement shifted to unease. This wasn't beginner's luck, it was surgical. Harlan finally asked, "Where'd you learn this?" She stood, brushing dirt from her knees. "Wyoming Ranch, sir. Dad was a retired Marine raider, taught me since I could walk." It clicked, the poise, the instincts. But Harlan wasn't ready to concede. "All right, Thompson. Try the Raider qualifier course. 40 targets, mixed positions, combat sim. Clear it clean, and you've earned your spot here." Word spread like wildfire through the barracks that night. By morning, the chow hall buzzed with speculation. Heard she outshot Ramirez cold. One private muttered over eggs. "Nah, she's got to be spec ops undercover." Rebecca ate alone, unfazed. But Harlan, in his office, wrestled with doubt. Skill was one thing, pressure was another. He scheduled her for the base's grueling marksmanship comp sprints in full gear, mud crawls, shots after flashbangs rattled your ears. The event dawned humid, the kind of sticky California morning that sapped your strength. Operators from recon units lined up, ribbing each other. Rebecca's inclusion drew side eyes. Was this a joke? The whistle blew, and chaos hit. Vault over walls, prone fire at swinging plates, transitioned to sidearms mid-sprint. Hearts pounded, sweat poured. At 400 yards, post-crawl, Rebecca's hands shook from fatigue, but she exhaled, steadied, and pinged the target. By the end, her time topped most, hits flawless. The crowd's skepticism cracked into respect, but whispers lingered. She's making us look bad. Is this fair? Harlan watched, a knot in his gut. She'd exposed cracks in their egos, sparking debates in the mess hall. Did gender matter in skill? Was the military too rigid? To test her limits, he arranged the ultimate. A live sim with Shadow Team. Those ghost-like recon specialists who trained in the shadows of the San Bernardino Mountains. Urban mock-up village, fog rolling in from the ocean. You're hunted, Harlan warned. Limited rounds. Survive. The buzzer wailed. Rebecca dove into alleys as paint rounds whizzed by, splintering plaster. Shadows moved, operatives closing in. She countered, picking off mannequins at 300 yards, then evading a flank. Heart racing, ammo low, she spotted the last hunter behind a barricade. Instinct fired. He dropped, with a sensor beep. Emerging from the fog, soaked and bruised, she faced Harlan. 6 kills, no hits on you, he read from the report. Pride flickered in his eyes. You've proven more than marksmanship, Thompson. You've shown resilience. But the base wasn't done. Rumors swelled. CIA plant? Mythical operative? Harlan fielded calls from brass, demanding a rematch at extreme range. The wind howled that afternoon, gusts to 15 miles per hour. 2 raiders waited with their custom rigs. Targets at 1,400 yards, popping unpredictably. The raiders hit solid groups, earning nods. Rebecca prone, scope dancing in the gale. She fired, dropping each with eerie precision. The range officer's jaw dropped. She's not human. Climax hit with the Phantom Endurance trial. Endless sprints, climbs, shots under duress. Legs burning, vision blurring. Rebecca hit a mug-sized plate at 1,100 yards amid swirling dust. The horn blared. She'd shattered the base record one, for 78 yards, no misses. Cheers erupted, but Harlan pulled her aside. You didn't just win. You redefined possible. In the mess hall that evening, applause thundered as Rebecca entered. Harlan stood. Thompson broke a record I set 30 years ago. Not by luck, by grit. Calls for a speech rose. She stepped up, voice steady. I came to test myself, not prove anyone wrong. But limits? There's stories we tell. Push past, and you rewrite them. A young Marine approached later. Ma'am, you inspired me to try for recon. She smiled. Then do it. Weeks later, her name etched on the range plaque. Rebecca Thompson, new record holder. An invite buzzed from a elite raider commander. Opportunities awaited. Harlan's scoff long forgotten, replaced by mutual respect. Rebecca had walked into a man's world and claimed her place, proving talent bows to no barriers.